Happy Monday. It has been raining all day, and the mountains were so gorgeous earlier. They were covered in fog, and then it was pouring down rain. It was kind of bad for a second because I was on the freeway and I couldn't even see like anywhere in front of me. So I was like, well, I hope I'm driving straight and not crashing into anybody, but I can't see a thing. So here we go. So it was truly an act of faith. My only regret today is not wearing a sweatshirt because it is the first day in so long where I could actually wear a sweatshirt and survive because it has been 100 for about 2.5 weeks and it's been miserable. And I'm so excited that it's rainy and foggy and gorgeous. I'm so happy, honestly. And my grandma invited me over because she made banana bread. So I'm about to go in and have some of her banana bread, and it's going to be so good. I already know it. And then I also left my pumpkin spice creamer over at her house. So I'm excited to have some coffee with some pumpkin spice creamer. And I just feel like I'm already activating the fall spirit. And I feel like I'm fully in fall mode. I know there's going to be another heat wave, and I'm not happy about it. But I'm going to pretend like it's not going to happen, and I'm going to enjoy every moment that I can wear a sweatshirt. So hopefully tomorrow I can. It's supposed to be super stormy tomorrow, and there's supposed to be a lightning storm tomorrow as well. There has been for the last 2 days. Yesterday it was like 98 and then there was lightning, but today it was actually cooler and there was some lightning. It wasn't the coolest day ever, but I could have gotten away with a sweatshirt. The other thing is, the last few days I have been absolutely addicted to watching 2018, 2019 YouTube, and there's just something so refreshing about it. And because of that, I really wanted to pick up a book from that time. I was honestly just craving it. So I decided to go with Children of Blood and Bone. I believe this released around 2018. Let me look. 2018 exactly. This is so perfect. I'm so excited. First of all, this has been on my TBR for way too long, like literally since then, and I am so excited about it. I've heard amazing things. The third book came out not super long ago, so I'm definitely going to be trying to chip away at this one throughout the next couple days. I don't know if I'm going to take this through the next few days or just a couple days. I do want to try to get something up as soon as possible, so it might just be a couple days, but either way, I'm going to be reading this over the next couple days, and I'm excited. Hopefully I can fly through this. I'm so excited to dive into this. And also, yeah, I was going to pick up Vicious, but because I'm in the middle of Barrier of Bones, I decided that I'm just going to pick this one back up because I don't want to have like two V Schwabs going. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't know. I just kind of want to finish this one before I dive into Another World by this author because I don't feel guilty for leaving this behind. And I know I'm going to absolutely be obsessed with this. I just think that I need to just sit down and have some reading time. I haven't been able to physically read as much as I would like over the last few weeks just because of how busy I've been. So an audiobook has just kind of been the way to go. But I really want to sit down and physically read more. So hopefully picking this up over the next few days is going to encourage and hopefully try to find time for that. I have been trying to pick things up and read just like a few pages here and there. I'm just not making a ton of progress in anything that I'm reading, which is kind of disappointing. And then another book that I really wanted to finish and return to the library is We Used to Live Here. I don't remember exactly when this is due, but I want to try to make my way through some of my library loans because I have quite a few. It's probably the worst it's ever been. I think it's because I can't buy books right now very often, pretty much at all, really, and I have been getting my fix through going to the library, and it's bad. It's really bad. I have so many library loans, it's not even funny. So I'm actually dedicated to trying to read as many as possible before returning them, and I've been doing actually pretty okay. So I think prioritizing a couple of my library loans. I have a couple other ones that I might throw in that I feel like could go by really quick. And I feel like when things are just like complicated and busy, thrillers are truly the way to go. So I think this is perfect for the next few days. So I actually might dive into this one first. But I also, like I said, have been just so obsessed with 2018, 2019 YouTube. So then this is also calling my name. So I'm not really sure. We'll see where we start. I might just, start both of these like exactly at the same time. I'll just set them here. Honestly, this is going to be a tough call. I am definitely going to be rotating through all of these, though, every single day. And I'm just hoping I can make a good amount of progress in each. So I'm going to head into my grandma's. eat some banana bread, drink some delicious pumpkin spice coffee, and hopefully cuddle up and read for the next hour or so. To leave my grandma's. I had such a cozy time. The banana bread was even better than I could have imagined, and I am excited to go home and continue reading. I'm just having such a cozy day, and I'm so glad that it was so rainy and gorgeous and I got to start a good book. And I feel like just feeding into the vibes that I was craving, watching old school videos and just picking up a backlist book feels so good and special and in such a good way. And even though I'm like sad I waited so long to read certain books, sometimes I feel like books truly come to you when they're meant to. And I feel like now's the time. And I feel like because I was just like craving reading an older book, I feel like I'm going to enjoy it so much more because not only have I been excited for it for so long, but then I saw excitement about reading it and then I got excited in a whole new way to read it, and then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to love it and it's going to be amazing. So I'm really happy that it just kind of came to me, I feel like, at the perfect time. Literally one of my favorite lip glosses, and I'm so sad because it's almost gone. I'm definitely gonna have to get another tube. I feel like I have so much to update you on. So first off, I made quite a bit of progress in We Used to Live Here. I am now almost on a page 100. I just ended up throwing in a random bookmark actually from my little Lisa Frank notebook that I've had for absolute ever, and I just need to use it up, so I throw it in my purse and write random notes on it. I have a million bookmarks, but I didn't grab any, so I just ended up throwing one of these in my book. But I did listen to this a little bit this morning and on my way home from my grandma's house, and I'm actually about to head back there just for a little bit to help her with a few things now. And then also I need to return Wolf Gone Wild. I was going to try to just read this in this vlog, but it's already due. Somebody has it on hold and I don't want to keep anybody waiting even for like a day or two. So I'm just going to return this to the library and then recheck it out when I see it come up again. As for We Used to Live Here, this is wild right now. So there's this girl named Evie, and her partner Charlie is gone to the store to grab a few things. And while she's gone, Evie ends up inviting in this whole family who claims that the husband used to live there when he was a child, and they have a couple kids. And it's actually funny, one of the kids' names is Kai, and that's my husband's name. So I thought that's really funny because I didn't expect it or know that that was coming, and I just heard Kai over the audiobook. I don't know, I feel like it's so weird when that happens, or you hear your own name. That's even weirder. So anyways, I was listening to this story. I feel like Kai's becoming such a popular name lately. Like, it's in so many books, and it's not a super popular name. Like, I've known a couple Kais when I was younger, but I went to like Waldorf school, and I feel like you kind of get a little bit more unique names in Waldorf school. And then I didn't know any Kais until I met my husband. So I thought that was really interesting that now it's kind of like surfacing so much and that you're seeing it like so frequently. Regardless, I'm having a good time with it. It's definitely so weird, and a lot of eerie stuff is going on. It's not really like feeling super spooky, just kind of like weird and eerie, if that makes any sense. And I'm just kind of like, that was a little... Either way, I'm having fun. I'm not thinking too seriously about this. I know a lot of people have said that their problem with this is that they couldn't see somebody inviting someone into their house like that. I could. I do think that there's definitely people who are people pleasers who genuinely would just be like, sure, I guess, even though they don't feel comfortable with that. I definitely think that is a problem. Not everyone sets boundaries well, and everyone does that in a different way, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I could definitely see it. And I feel like I can see Charlie's personality too, just like a little bit of the, I like to push buttons and I have a good time with it, and I'm willing to speak my piece, but like I do have a good heart and I want to try to believe the best in people. I can see that personality type too. And I don't know, the family's so interesting too. Like, I love kind of hearing about them and their dynamic because I'm like, what is going on? Something's up with this family. They're super weird, and I'm really curious to see like where things are ultimately going to end up going. And I'm having a really good time with it. But even if it wasn't realistic, I feel like, I mean, obviously, like most people aren't going to let people in their house. So I can see why, like, it's viewed as like unrealistic, because yeah, most people wouldn't, but like I said, there's definitely people who would. I think I'm gonna pull up my necklace a little bit more. I feel like it's bothering me how low it is, so I'm just gonna pull this up a little bit. Okay, so much better. I also crimped my hair this morning and I'm loving it. I haven't done this in so long. And random thought, but when me and my husband first got together, there was a picture that my grandma took of him crimping my hair, and it's one of my favorite memories. It's like such a random one. I think because it's just like one of our little at-home cute moments where he was just being really sweet, helping me do my hair, and I don't know, sometimes those memories are the best. So I don't know, I was thinking about that this morning, and that was really cute. I want to find that picture. Either way, what was I saying about the book? Yeah, I definitely remember. That was a squirrel moment for sure. Either way, I'm going to keep listening to it because I'm actually headed to my grandma's. I think I actually want to lift this up even a little higher. I'm headed to my grandma's, so I'm definitely going to listen to it. I think I'm going to finish it by the end of today because I'm already almost 30% of the way in and I barely listened to it. I think I just listened to it on the way to her house, and she's not like that far. It's like 20 minutes. And so it'll be like 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back this way. And I believe I only have like 2 hours left, and then I'm obviously going to listen to it just throughout the day in general. So I don't see a problem finishing this by tonight. I kind of want to get a little bit further in Children of Blood and Bone before I share any thoughts. Like, I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm excited to see where things go as I continue getting deeper into it. Also, look at this like creepy almost looking map. That's pretty cool. I think that's it. My grandma and I ended up having to reschedule, so I'm here to return the library book, and I can't help myself. I'm definitely going to go into the library, even though I have no business going in there because we all know I'm going to check out books. it's time for a library book haul because I, in fact, have no restraint whatsoever. I honestly probably would have checked out a few more, but I didn't have a bag with me, and I did that on purpose so I couldn't check out that many books. I think I grabbed 7, which for me is very reasonable. Let's just not count the ones that I already have back at the house. But either way, I checked out 7 books. I kind of actually went crazy in the YA section, which was weird. But I just saw a few new releases, and I didn't even know that they were YA, like seeing them. The first one being Immortal Consequences. I had no idea this was YA. I just have seen a few pictures of it, and I absolutely am obsessed with the cover. And honestly, the title's pretty badass. And then look at these sprayed edges. It is so gorgeous. And I'm really excited to dive into this. I'm definitely going to be having to pick up my own copy if I enjoy it at some point because this cover is stunning. It's display worthy. I'm obsessed. And then I also did pick up Somadina. I feel like so dumb trying to say that. But either way, this is by the same author who does a ton of like super good books that I haven't read. So Freshwater, The Death of Vivek Oji, yeah, all on my list. I need to get to this author's works. And I thought, why not just start with this one? And then I also got Infinity Alchemist. Is this not the same author who did Felix Ever After, or is it another book that I'm thinking of? But look at this stunning artwork in here. I'm just so excited because some of these YA books look so good, and I honestly still love a good YA. Obviously, I'm not like always in the mood, but I genuinely still enjoy reading YA so much, and I don't know if that's ever gonna go away, to be honest. And then we also have The Lies We Conjure. This cover is super badass as well. And I know it said something about witches. Yeah, it says 13 witches, a locked room murder, and 2 non-magical sisters trapped in a deadly whodunit. That honestly sounds so interesting because not only do you have the witches, but then you also have this mystery going on and a locked room mystery, no less. Like, that sounds so good. So I'm actually really excited about this one, and I'm hoping it delivers. And then we also have The Waves Take You Home. I almost thought that said we. I was trying to like read under the sticker. This cover is absolutely stunning. I know part of it's set in Colombia, and I also got these bookmarks. All's Fair in Love and Poetry, but this one sounds so good. So essentially this girl, she is from Colombia. She has the love of her life. And then she also is super close with her grandma. She takes off to New York City, and then her grandma ends up passing. So she ends up finding herself on a plane back to Colombia and running into her old flame, and also a ton of other things are going on. Oh yeah, and it also says she left Colombia because she wanted to better her life, but also that her mother and her grandmother didn't approve of the guy that she was in love with. So then after her grandma's passing, she ends up running back into him in Colombia, and I'm sure the rest is history, but I feel like it's going to go so much deeper than that, and I think this is going to be such a gorgeous book. I just have a feeling. So I'm really excited to get to this one. And then I just have a couple other ones that I picked up. I picked up The Bewitching because I don't want to wait until I'm able to purchase a copy myself. So I'm just gonna probably pick up the library copy. I might even pick this up this week or next week. I'm not really sure. And then I have one other book that I kind of just picked up on a whim because it looks super cool. And then I read the synopsis and I was like, absolutely, this could be so good. This is a Song of Legends Lost. And I thought maybe I could just pick this up shortly and just kind of read this over the next few weeks. I feel like this is a book that I would love to kind of just pick up here and there and read it section by section. I don't know, like I love binging books, but I also love just carrying a book around with me for a while, especially like a chunky bad boy like this, and just slowly reading it and absorbing the story and taking it to coffee shops, reading it in the library, and just like romanticizing reading. And I need that in my life right now, so I think that would be so perfect. So I thought this would be a good one for that. But I also just like have so many library books. I just overwhelmed myself more with so many good books, and I'm not even mad about it because it makes me so happy. And if I return the books, I can just check them out again when somebody else hasn't checked them out. So I'm not too worried about it. I actually kind of just love checking books out, and then if I don't get to them, I'm not like super mad, but I am trying to prioritize getting to my library books a little bit more. And I feel like I've actually been doing like a really good job. For now though, I'm gonna go back to the house and eat something. I literally haven't eaten all day and I can feel myself getting delirious and not being able to like talk and form thoughts properly, and I'm like trying to hold it together. So I need to eat, I need to hydrate, and then obviously continue listening to, I don't know why that was. See, this is why I need to eat. This is why I need water, because I can't even say basic things. So I'm just gonna try to do that and then continue listening to my book. And that's a wrap. I'll talk to you later. Okay, so two things. One, the book, and then two, I saw a dog running by and I'm like not sure if it's a stray or not. It looks like it has a collar, so I was just like panicking for a second for like two different reasons and having like oh my god and then squirrel moment. But I have another thing I need to share with you. Hold on. Just genuinely, wasn't it always Berenstain Bears? I swear I have always thought it was Berenstain Bears and it's Berenstain Bears. I feel like I even saw it written out as Berenstain Bears, so it's so trippy because I actually the other day saw it written out and I was like, I thought it was Berenstain, like my entire childhood, adulthood, everything. I'm so confused. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Well, clearly I'm not the only one, because that's tripping me out more than honestly anything at this point. And then something did just happen that was kind of eerie, and I'm like, that's not good. I'm worried for you, Evie. I truly am at this point. But I also feel like she might have some secrets going on too. I don't know why. There was just the subtlest little comment that was made that you could easily just like pass over that made me think something. I may be so off track and maybe it just was a passing comment, but I'm starting to think that there might be something more going on with her as well. So we'll just see. We'll see how reliable she ends up being. But like also with some of her stuff, it genuinely, like, I don't know if she could be. I did also in fact eat lunch. I just had some jalapeno quesadillas that I made. They were like fresh jalapenos and the quesadilla was actually pretty good. So pretty satisfied with that, and I feel so much better. I chugged a ton of water and now I have to go pick up my kiddos, and then I don't really know what's going on after that. I think I have to do some work with my husband, which is crazy. So I actually met my husband working, and last night he was like, this is such a full circle moment that like a decade later we're working together again. And we've like worked together on like little things, but we're literally working for the same people at this time. And it's just crazy how like full circle things have gone. So that's really exciting. And yeah, so we're gonna be doing some work together later today, and then I don't know what else I have going on, but again, still enjoying this. I need to like read a little bit more of Children of Blood and Bone. I really want to, but I want to sit with it. Like I don't want to just like read that while I'm on the go, because that's why I did end up picking this audiobook up last night, because I just felt like I would miss things if I listened to Children of Blood and Bone while I'm driving around or doing other tasks. So hopefully this evening I'll have a little bit of downtime where I can like truly pick that one up. And then the other book that I forgot to mention actually is Blood Over Brighthaven. I want to pick this up because I have the audiobook loan for like a day or two, and I do want to physically read like a good chunk of this, but it would be kind of nice to immersive read this. I'm not really sure, so I'm considering picking this one up this week, but I might just wait and just physically read this. But I've had the audiobook loan in the past and I let it expire, and I was like, okay, I'll just wait till I got it again, and it literally was months later. So this is a hot commodity, so I don't want to like put it off unless I just genuinely don't want to listen to the audio like at all. Maybe I'll like sample it and see if I'm really like vibing with the audiobook, and then if I am, I'll immersive read it this week. If not, I'll set this to the side because I am in the middle of a couple different books right now. Not that that's ever a problem for me. Like, I love being in the middle of multiple books. It kind of keeps me going. And whenever I try to stick to like one book, I feel like that's when my reading kind of takes a dive, actually. So those are the plans. I'm gonna go pick up my kids. I kind of want to get there early so I don't have to like fight through the traffic and everything, because that is the worst, and enjoy my last few solo minutes. My school parking lot. I'm actually about to go into an advising appointment, but I quickly wanted to update you not only on my reading, but also some of the life updates that I mentioned in my moving vlog. And I thought now would be a fitting time, since I'm about to go into an advising appointment to make some huge life changes. Essentially, I got like this amazing job in Northern Oregon, and I'm so sad about it. I ended up having to turn it down, and now we're in the Southern Oregon area just because some of the things just like weren't coming into place to move up there. And that was the hope, that was the dream. But we decided to kind of just like take a step back, reroute for a second. And I feel like ultimately the job that I got in Northern Oregon really inspired me to make some changes in my career as well. And so I'm kind of just taking a leap of faith and going to talk to an advisor and seeing if this is something that I kind of want to pursue and go down this path. And I think hopefully I get a good advisor and we can kind of just figure some things out and I can move forward from here. If I do, I might even start classes in a few weeks, which I'm so excited about. So I'm really looking forward to this advising appointment. I know it's kind of vague, but what I'm looking into is definitely different than what I've been doing, but it's also still aligned in the same way. And I definitely wanted to stay in a profession where I'm like actively being involved in improving people's lives and helping people, because that is a huge part of like what I've been doing over the last few years. Is I'm very involved in the community, and I definitely wanted to have a job that allows for me to continue down that path and hopefully keep me aligned with potentially, you know, going down the path that I've been working towards for a long time. It's just a lot of schooling. Like, a lot of the things that I'm doing are just like a lot of schooling and a lot of time and a lot of like building up. And so I've just been working on that the last few years, and I've really been so thankful for all the experiences and the learning that I've done over the past few years. And I'm really curious where this next journey is going to take me. And so I'm hoping to kind of just go down this path. I feel like I just have so many changes, not only in like jobs and school and other things, and I don't know if I'm making any sense. And then another part of the decision is my grandma does have some health issues and she's in her 80s, so I do want to try to enjoy as much time with her as possible. So that's the gist of everything. I feel like just a whole life overhaul is happening right now, but I feel like the other side of the changes are going to be so beautiful. And I think sometimes like rerouting and changing things up can be such a blessing. So even though there's definitely challenges through this transition, I am just trying to stay positive and see the beauty in it and enjoy the journey as much as I can. And that's just kind of where I'm at. I feel like turning 30, so much just naturally starts to change and grow because you start to change so much and grow. And I'm honestly excited to see where the future takes me and just trying to enjoy each day for what it is as it comes. But I am staying with family temporarily till we get settled here. I don't know like how long that's gonna take, but because we had plans to obviously move to a completely different part of Oregon and there were so many changes through that, I don't know how long it's going to take us to settle in. I feel like that will be such a beautiful moment and one I cannot wait for, but either way, we're just going to keep trucking along. As for reading updates, I did end up finishing We Used to Live Here last night, and I honestly overall really enjoyed it. The horror elements definitely came a little bit more towards the end. I wasn't sure where the ending was going, and I definitely was feeling a little skeptical at first, but I did enjoy it overall. And the last few like sentences and like honestly just the last page in general, I was like, I really enjoy when you're leading up to the end and then you get to the final page and it packs a punch. So that was pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure what my rating's going to be, but I would say it'd probably fall in the range of like a 4, 4.25. So I'm not really sure which one I'm going to settle with, but that's about where I'm landing with my rating for this one. But really enjoyable. This was fun. I binged through it. So obviously, like, fast read. I think I'm gonna land on like a 4.25 because I did really enjoy this. And then the next book that I ended up picking up, I mentioned that I only had the audiobook loan for Blood Over Brighthaven. I started listening to this last night and I got like 3 or 4 chapters in, but I didn't process any of it because I was listening to it as I was like falling asleep and I had my headphones in. And like, I know that when I was listening to it, I was retaining it, but for some reason, as soon as like I knocked out, I fell asleep listening to it, and then like my brain just didn't process it when I woke up. I was like, I don't remember what I read. It has nothing to do with the book. I think it's just because I was listening to it like as I was falling asleep, and then I fell asleep listening to it. So I decided this morning that I would just restart. So I'm on page 6. So like literally no thoughts other than I feel like I'm going to really like this. So I'm excited to continue doing this. So I'm going to go head into my advising appointment. I'll let you know how that goes. And then obviously I'm going to continue picking up Blood Over Brighthaven. I have a few other errands to do today, but if I have time, I really want to go to the coffee shop and read for a little bit and get a pumpkin spice chai. So we'll see. But for now, I'm going to head into my advising appointment, and I'm so nervous and excited all at the same time. And I just hope my advisor is really helpful because I feel like it can be a little bit hit or miss. Here's to the best. I have so much to update you on, but I am incredibly ill, so bear with me. I know my voice sounds absolutely so gross. And honestly, I don't know if I have a single coherent thought. I kind of feel like I'm on an alternate reality. So, like I said, just bear with me. I have so much to update you on. Some of it I was like not even sure if I was gonna update because I am like actually horrified. So, one of the jobs that I was doing, part of the task was to clean out a house. And I'm not going to go into the details or why I had to do that or any of that stuff, but essentially, I did not know that would entail cleaning out a spicy room. And I mean like 50 Shades of Grey kind of vibe. Not like to that level, but there was some things like a spicy swing and stained lingerie that were emitting an odor and just like other stuff, and I'm so pissed and uncomfortable, and obviously I'm like not doing that job anymore, but I don't even like know how to process my life right now. So that was part of my week. So I haven't really gotten any reading done because that took up like my entire week last week. So I haven't really read or filmed or done anything, and it just threw everything off, and not even for a good reason. As for like the advising school stuff, that's going really well. It's gonna definitely be like a step by step, slowly uncovering like kind of where I go from here, because the advisor wasn't advising. And I was just like, hey girl, I kind of need that information. It was just last week was a week. I literally can't even process it, and I'm sick on top of that. Hopefully it's not from cleaning out that house. I think we just had sickness going around in the family, and I don't know if I said this, but I just want to go back and like clarify that I absolutely have zero judgment as long as it's not harming others for anybody's interest. I just don't want to clean it. It was, I don't even know. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna share this, but yeah, I obviously wore protective gear, but I don't think that there's enough protective gear in the world for a situation like that.
Anyways, so I wanted to update you on my reading. I'm a little bit more spicy than normal. Like, that's how bad I feel. Like, I had a really rough week. Things are just like completely chaotic, and I have been like really positive about things, and I still am, but it's all getting to me, and I just kind of want things to level. Just it's hard sometimes to take a step back even if you know it's the right thing to do. I just feel like very out of sorts, and like all my stuff is in storage, and I miss my stuff. I miss my own space. I'm just, yeah, I'm just going through it. I don't know. I just wanted to share that because, like I said, I know so many people are having such a hard time right now. I appreciate anyone that took a second to sit and listen to this update. Anyways, I am reading Hemlock Island by Kelly Armstrong. I actually just picked this up this morning because I just wasn't feeling well, and I was trying to physically read, and I was just getting a throbbing headache. So I decided, because I don't want to listen to Children of Blood and Bone via audio, I want to only physically read that. I'm going to have to pick that up later. Regardless, I am on chapter 8. I'm about a little over 15% of the way through this book, really enjoying it. I will give a little bit more of a detailed update later. And then I also picked up The Block Party this morning. I was actually originally going to read this, but then when I went to the store, for some reason it wasn't loading. So then that's when I ended up picking this one up. So I'm probably just going to rotate between the two, but I might want to primarily focus on Hemlock Island. I don't know if I'm going to finish this before the end of the video. And same with Children of Blood and Bone. I might just finish this and then end everything out, just because this has dragged on since it's been a few days since I could update. But either way, like, I do want to continue reading Children of Blood and Bone. I'm really enjoying it. Truly jumped straight into the story, and I was hooked pretty immediately. I need to turn on the car really quick because I'm literally losing oxygen. I feel like I'm gonna pass out, so I need to have the AC on. It's not like super hot today, but I definitely need the air on, especially with how sick I am. Regardless, like I said, I want to continue reading this physically, and I actually am looking forward to picking this up. When I'm not reading it, I'm thinking about picking it up, so I feel like that's such a good sign.
I finished some things and I'm here to wrap everything up. So I did end up finishing Hemlock Island, and I have to say, I think I fall very middle of the road with this one. I really enjoyed the atmosphere and, of course, the isolated setting. I always love a good isolated setting, but I think the things that didn't work well for me were the second half of the book. So the first half of the book, as I said, I was really invested. I kept wanting to pick it back up, but then when I started to get to the second half of the book, I felt like the pacing was just super off, and I was finding myself really just wanting to be done. And then also, I feel like the second half was chaotic and not in the best way, at least for me personally. Like, I see what I was doing, and I can see why people would enjoy that, but for some reason, it just like wasn't hitting for me. And so it wasn't as eerie as it could have been if it maybe had hit better, or the pacing had have been a little bit better for me as a reader personally, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I see both sides of the coin with this one. Like, I can see why somebody would really love this, and I see why somebody wouldn't love it, but I definitely was very much in the middle. I thought it was really cool that there was a character named Madison. That's amazing. I don't read a ton of books with characters with my name, so I really love that. And I did love like following the characters, like the multiple characters that are in this story and their dynamic together and slowly uncovering things. The one thing I'll say is there was a reveal, and I'll make sure I don't hint anything about what it's about, but there was a couple sentences, and I felt like the way they were worded didn't sit right with me. Like, it really didn't. And I understand and acknowledge that there's a very complex thought surrounding this issue, especially for somebody who experiences certain things. And I think that made sense. But I just think two sentences, just the way that they were worded, was just, it didn't sit right with me, and I didn't love it. So that's all I'll pretty much say about that. I really wish I could just like tell you what they are, because that would make so much more sense, but obviously I don't want to spoil anything. But I did have a decent time reading this. I don't know exactly what my rating's going to be, but I'm kind of leaning with like a 3, actually maybe like 3.25 tops. but I think I'm going to land with a 3. I don't know. I need to sit on it for a minute, but it's in that ballpark to give you an indication of like how I'm feeling about it, because I did really enjoy the first half of the book, and for some reason I couldn't even tell you why I did care about the romance, even though I could see why you wouldn't, because I don't necessarily know if it gives you enough to care about that. But I did. I was definitely rooting for them at the end. And I didn't particularly like any of the characters, so that was interesting. But I still had like a good time with this. I know I'm sounding like I like didn't like it at all, but that's not true. Like I really did like a lot of elements of it. Like I said, especially the atmosphere. There was an eeriness. It was fun to follow, especially for the first half. There were interesting group dynamics. I can't help but love that there was a Madison. But like I said, I think the pacing especially was the thing that didn't work for me the most in the second half. And then, like I said, they're just those 2 sentences, they sat with me. So I'm not a fan of that. And I think that's what kind of lowered my rating. So yeah, I think I'm going to land with a 3. And then I did also read most of Children of Blood and Bone. I'm so close. My goal is to finish this by tonight, but I need to end this out. I was thinking about waiting till I finish, but I have so much that I need to get going with, and this vlog took so much longer than I expected. But my goal was to get to chapter 60 by today, but I think I'm just going to finish out the rest and read this in whatever next vlog that I'm doing. So I'm really excited. I'm enjoying this so much. This has potential to be a 5-star, and I love reading this before bed. This has been like my before bed book, and it is so hard to put it down and go to bed because I'm getting so invested in it, and then I find myself like dreaming about it. So that's pretty cool. So I mean, like, that's a pretty good indicator that it may be a 5-star at the end. And also, like, I can feel so many of the feelings that these characters are feeling, like the terror in some of these situations and just the intensity. I'm actually just like viscerally feeling that, and I can imagine this world so vividly. I find myself constantly referencing the map to see what's going on. I don't always do that. Like sometimes I do, but I don't always do that because I'm pretty good at visualizing things in my head. But I love a good map, and I'm really been appreciating them more and more. But I also think it speaks to my enjoyment of this book as well. So I'm excited to finish this and give you even more thoughts. And I think that brings us to the end. So this has been a crazy couple weeks. For sure. There has been so many wild things going on, and this next week is going to be wild in a different way, but like in a more exciting, happy, peaceful way. So I'm really excited about that, and I'll definitely share more in my next vlog. Thank you for coming along with me on this crazy roller coaster, and I'm gonna get back to my next vlog and get this up to you as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're doing well, and I'm sending all the love, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.